It seems you have no choice but to leave the dead night be. You've been down in the cellars a good while. With candlelight waning, you decide to retreat the way you came. You reach for the keys, looped on the knight's belt. And he comes to life. He did! He came to life! That's armor. You dare show yourself again, traitor? Big thank you to Endisis for reaching out to me and providing me with early access to this demo. We're going to be playing the demo for The Last Winter Night. The demo actually releases on the 30th of June, but we've been given early access, so big thank you for that. This is like it's a beautiful visual novel, but it looks like it's quite a somber tone. I think it's directly inspired by like Dark Souls and things of that nature. So I'm quite excited to check this out. Click on objects to interact with them. Also, if you want to wishlist this game, there'll be a link above Twitch chat or one in the about section below if you're watching this on YouTube, so check it out. Has your journey been long? Click on highlighted words. Okay. But at last you're here, where you belong. Click to advance, okay. It's good to see you again. I believe we play as a ghost haunting a suit of armor. The Last Winter Night. Ah, okay. Extras? Music box, credits, more games. Okay. Well, I've already looked at the options. Continue skipping after choices. Turn off transitions. So we're just going to jump straight into this. Lost Soul. Wandering through mist and snow. Do you feel the touch of iron cold? I'm digging this already. This is like right up my alley. The artwork is beautiful. I love that the setting is like this. I don't know, like this. Like, I don't know how dark the game will be, but I'm a big fan of dark fantasy. I say this a lot, but before you awoke, there was nothing. No warmth or light, no touch, no taste, no sound, no sight. No dreams, no fears, no memories. Only a dark as vast and boundless as the sunless sea. You were one soul adrift among the dead that came before you. A droplet in an ocean. But now, you're unsure when you came to consciousness. When the pieces of yourself coalesce and form you again. When darkness becomes dimness. When silence became the barest rustle of sound. Wind. That's inside the helmet. You're here again in the world of the living. As if you never left. As if when you closed your eyes for the final time, you were only dreaming. You try to recall what a dream is. What it means to wake from sleep. When you were alive and sleep was a different being altogether from death. Feel. Moments pass. You remain still for some time, letting the sensations of the world around you flood your consciousness. Grounding yourself in the flow of time itself. Time. You once felt its passage with painful clarity. The world of the living is finite and fragile one, fleeting as frost beneath the morning sun. But now you have the luxury of waiting. Something falls gently around you. Snow. You form the word in your mind, feel its shape with your consciousness. Soft, white, cold. You shiver out of instinct. Something metallic clangs and rattles as you do. But the bite of cold never comes. God, I love this piano music too. Listen. The roar of the wind. The creaking of iron. The song of a palace abandoned by time. If solitude had a sound, would this be its melody? Luck. Finally, you decide to examine your surroundings. Or rather, your encasings. You try to move your fingers, and something metallic clicks in response. A steel gauntlet follows your command, blinking softly as you twist and turn. But this gauntlet and vambrace are hollow. No flesh is encased beneath them, not even bone. Yet as you bend your arm, a counter and pauldron move to your command. The rings of an iron hauberk clatter against the empty cuirass of your torso. You know that once, long before the currents of the sunless sea took all memory from you, you had flesh. You lived and breathed. Lived and breathed and fought and killed until you died yourself. See. Gingerly, you reach for your visor and crack it open, then closed until your vision settles into focus. What you see is yourself, your reflection, rather in a broken mirror or on an old stone wall. An empty helm stares back at you. As you shift and turn, your cuirass and pauldrons shift along with you, clanging in the dimness. Lost soul. Did this armor belong to me? Was I a knight? Let's save. I'm also going to make my Vtuber model just a little bit smaller, so that people who want to read can read and I not cover up the words. So far, this game is absolutely beautiful. Like, kind of jaw-droppingly beautiful. Was I a knight? You concentrate, searching for any traces of the past that linger on your soul. You find nothing but flashes of sensation, flickers of emotion. You clench your gauntlets as you feel them wash over you. Fear, rage, regret. The hilt of a sword in your grip. A war cry on your lips. Hunger, cold. You have killed, and you have commanded others to kill. Violence is no stranger to you. Neither is the feeling of cold steel surrounding you. But beyond these sensations, no memories come to you. Not yet. Perhaps in time, you'll know what drew your spirit not only to your armor, but to this place as well. But now, you turn to the rest of your surroundings. This is, like, I'm kind of falling in love with this. Objects will not yield all their secrets upon a single look. Try examining them more than once to reveal more insights. A brief summary of your discoveries can be found in the Codex. That's good to know. When you have found everything you can interact with in a room, the frost around the edges of the screen will disappear. I hope you can find yourself again. Interesting. Let's try the mirror. You take another look in the mirror, trying to make out more details on your armor. It's a deep black, though the metal's luster has been lost to time. Delicate engravings cover its plates. Spiraling leaves and gilt florals trace its surface like ivy on a wall. The crest carved onto the center of the cuirass resembles a bird. A crow or a raven, you think. It's an intricate piece of craftsmanship, beautiful truly. But more importantly, it feels familiar. Comforting. Wearing it makes you feel less like a spirit, and more like you. Whoever you were. Plate armor is already expensive, you think. Hence only knights can afford to wear full suits into battle. Armor this ornate can only have belonged to someone with great status of renown. Could that truly be me? What sort of person was I? If I was so important, why wasn't my spirit laid to rest? Ooh. That's interesting. I was so important, why wasn't my spirit laid to rest? Great men are giving great funerals. Prayers and dirges from sunrise to sundown. Candles carved with his name. 100 flickering lights to guide his spirit across the sunless sea. Incense lit to soothe the soul. A pyre to burn away mortal regrets. Either I received not even the barest courtesy of my death, or the burden on my soul weighed so greatly no flame could hope to lift it. But I remember nothing of who I was. How am I supposed to free myself? I'm also gonna just quickly whack myself down here. So if we do this again, try to remember your features. Okay. Hi, Wolfies. Your armor stands as impressive height. No, I'm still in the way. No matter what I do. I'm just gonna go really small down here then. Your armor stands at an impressive height. You were tall then, and must have been physically fit to don it. What did I look like? Was I rough and imposing? Dignified and princely? An intimidating face suits me. Oh, this is interesting. Let's save the game again. How have you been, Wolfies? I think I had a friendly face. Would it be vain to wish I was handsome? What I look like doesn't matter. I'm dead. Yeah. Like, it'd be nice. I would have chosen this one. But no, I'm gone. Like, perhaps you don't wish to be reminded of the life you lost. Perhaps your knight's visor is your face to you now. Whatever the case, you don't linger on your reflection for long. A hollow suit of black and steel looks back at you from the mirror's surface. Your armor was once and still is beautiful, yet though tarnished, not a scratch covers it. Like it was never worn into battle. Like it stood here, unused, never to fulfill its purpose. You know that even the most beautiful armor is built to protect. For lords and knights, conveying one's lineage is as important on the battlefield as off of it. If you fought for your master, you didn't do so in this suit. Then why was I drawn to it? Why this armor and not the one that protected me in life? Interesting. Okay, I want to keep, like, pushing the mirror. Never wanted to battle. Then why was I drawn to it? Why this armor? Okay, so that looks like that's the end of the dialogue with the mirror, so that's okay. Let's go here. Broken windows gape like an open jaw, drawing icy breaths of wind into the wide stone room. Shards of glass litter the floor like a revenant's teeth, buried under soft white mounds of snow. A winter storm gathers and grows. You'll have difficulty traversing it, should you even find a way outside. Well, there's plenty more to explore here yet. Okay, I assume when that character comes down here, that's the end of that dialogue, but let's try. Oh no, there is more. The world outside is a blur of white and dark that stretches as far as you can see. A pale moon shines in a pitch black sky. A lonely thing further than you could ever hope to reach. The world of the living is beautiful, it's just as empty as the sunless sea. Yeah. Save for the moon and snow, the night is as black as only nothingness can be. A nothingness you know all too well already. I'm just glad it's a full moon. The last thing I want is to crawl around in the dark again. I'm doing okay, Wolfies. Just doing my best to take care of my mental health, and you know, I've been going through a lot as well lately, and whatever broke them came from outside these walls. You take a piece of glass. Oh, I'll take the glass. Take a piece of glass and tuck it into the pouch in your belt. You're not sure how, but perhaps it'll be useful. It doesn't hurt to be prepared, yeah? Yeah, okay, so we've reached the end of that dialogue as well. A painting hangs above the hearth, flaking and aged, its ornate frame twisted with time. It depicts a woman of no less than 20 summers, dressed in a blue gown, her skin porcelain fair, and hair fairer still. A raven, its feathers the same stark hue, perches on her arm. She is beautiful, not even time can steal this fact from the canvas. Only because she is like me, lifeless and ageless. You stare at the painted face, trying to recall the person it belonged to. If she was the mistress here, I must have served her as a knight. But her name, like yours, escapes you. Thank you, Wolfies. That's very kind, honestly. Yeah. I hope things work out for you as well. The barest flicker of familiarity registers as you gaze at the portrait's flaking blue eyes. Perhaps this image isn't true to life. The artist could have painted her younger or fairer than she was in reality. Those who fail to please their patrons have short careers after all. Perhaps that's why I don't recognize her, or perhaps I cared that little for my liege. Ooh, that's very interesting. Let me take a sip of my tea and I'll give a little think of this. I'm gonna go with this option. As much as you'd like to imagine you were a loyal knight, you don't know what kind of master you served. Was she worthy of pledging my life to? The canvas yields no answers. Painting of whom you presume to be the lady of the castle. For a woman to inherit, she must have had no brothers or close male relatives. None with a strong claim, anyhow. Perhaps some were unhappy about that. Perhaps some tried unjustly to take advantage of her. Oh, definitely. If she had few relatives and allies, a rival could have tried to manipulate her. Or take her place. That thought makes you feel strangely protective of the painted figure. Interesting. Who, for all you know, could be as long dead as you are. Could even beat us, to be honest. And the armor maybe was the... like our lover. The person who wore the armor, I should say. The runes of the moon around you offer no consolation. Once again. Okay, so this is the... We've seen this as well. Ever walking in a long deserted room? If you can ignore the overturned furniture, broken glass and fallen chandelier, you think it would have been a comfortable place. It's spacious with a thick rug, wide walls, a hearth for warmth, and arched windows for light. Oh, so sorry. A solar or sitting room. You briefly wonder if you would have had the luxury of spending time here as a knight. What's the fireplace? I noticed all these on the floor as well. This room clearly has seen better days. Rust coats iron, wall grime has settled deep into stone, wool and wood. The broken windows and overturned furniture tell you that this place wasn't merely abandoned. Who or what left it like this? Was there some kind of battle here? How long have I been dead? Yeah, I assume that's going to be the last of that, so let's try the book. Pick up the book and try to read its faded words, though your hollow gauntlets struggle to turn the pages. It appears to be an epic romantic novel about a knight. Knightess, rather. Well, I suppose anything is possible in fiction. The pages are filled with lengthy paragraphs of purplish prose that spend too long describing the main character's musings, the scenery and the main character's musings about the scenery. You feel safe in assuming this hefty volume did not belong to you. Mirabelle then looked into the shining ocean-like pools of his azure blue eyes. Oh, how blue they were, and blushed deeply until her fair cheeks were as red as the blooming rose she held in her palm. Quickly, she pinned it to his cuirass, catching a glimpse of herself in its mirror-like surface, and blushed further. If I wasn't a spirit already, I'd die from embarrassment after reading this. Frivolous novel about a female knight. Somebody must have been doing some light reading before they were interrupted here. Okay, yeah, that's the end of that. Check the papers. Sheaths of parchment lie scattered near an ancient wooden table. You carefully pick one up and attempt to read the faded script. My dear Marchioness, my knights and I are most eager to attend the tournament. Ah, but my condolences once again for your loss. What a great burden your father has left to a woman as young as yourself. I, of course, would be happy to offer my advice perhaps in this private setting. The letters continue in a similar fashion, mentioning a tournament, the death of the recipient's father, and promises of courtship or counsel. The words choke with flattery and veiled condescension. Each one is addressed to Marchioness. You assume this must be the woman in the portrait. Though her painted face is nothing but serene, you can only imagine her reading them with a sigh of exasperation. You're certainly beginning to feel that way. You set the letter aside without caring where it lands. Sounds accurate. Among one of the letters you spy what appears to be a drawing, a portrait. The features are obscured. It bears a signature. HRH. His Royal Highness. This Marchioness was a noblewoman who corresponded with the royalty. She must have had immense power or wealth, or both. What were they discussing? But frustratingly, you can't make out any other words. Letters addressed to the Marchioness filled with flattery, condescension, or both. They discuss a great tournament she hopes to host. Hundreds of nobles and knights would have gathered here for it. The perfect time for something unsavory to happen. Interesting, okay. Okay, so we've done that one. Oh, the fireplace, right? Cold stone hearth, with only ashes remaining. You try to recall memories seated before a roaring fire, shutting your eyes by the warmth of the flames, a book on your lap or mulled wine in hand. Easing your weary bones after long days of fighting or travel. You must have done these things. No recollections come to you. I haven't felt warm in so very long. Oh, we finished. We can leave now. You're not my brother. Who? Was that my lady's voice? You wait, but save for the wind, the castle remains silent. If I keep searching, I should remember more. At least, you hope so. Let's go left. Oh, hello. There's like scratches. A pair of doors stand at the end of the hall. They don't budge, even when you press the full weight of your armor against them. Locked. Okay. Let's head back then. Go this way. It's a Dark Souls 1 reference. I love it. Very nice. Very, very nice. A rusted suit of armor donning a faded blue surcoat surveys the hall. It's impressive but dated and doesn't hold a candle to the fine craftsmanship of your own armor. Hello? You try to call out, and immediately feel foolish. You don't have a body, so naturally you have no other voice either. What are the chances another haunted suit of armor here after all? You tap the suit of armor's visor. No response. No other ghostly knights in this castle then. Nothing else. Ah, oh, so cute, so cute. Broken glass and piled snow blanket the floor of this hall as well. The shards glint like splintered teeth. You remember tales you've heard before. Tales you have told and tales you've been told. Tales of men who woke from death and grew iron skin and teeth. Iron has always been sacred to spirits, they say. I suppose there's not much difference between the revenants in tales and me. I once heard somebody tell stories about the Sunless Sea, of the spirits who failed to cross its shores and wandered eternally through the lands of the living. But who? And were they ever true? You can't help but feel you have an answer now. Snow, broken glass, white as the river Asker, sharp as a revenant's teeth. Step around the broken pieces carefully, even if you don't need to. Habits from when you were alive can't easily be forgotten, it seems. Okay, I'm going to assume that's enough there. Let's try these. Proud banners adorn the walls. Each bears a raven with wings unfurled similar to the one engraved on your armor. This is the symbol of the family I served. Yet you don't feel any sense of pride as you gaze upon them. Almost the opposite. Oh. Once proud banners displaying the Marchioness crest. The fabric is torn, covered in grime. The beautifully woven, once white birds have sunken into a sea of murky, mouldy blue. A heavy feeling lingers in your cuirass as you wonder if these banners mirror the fate of the house they reflect. I think we can press on now. It's a wooden rack for holding weapons. A pair of training staves lean against it forlornly. You sweep your gaze over the room. Not a single sword or spear lies in sight. You let your gauntlet fall to your side, where a scabbard would hang if your belt off of your belt if you were carrying one. I can't deny I'd feel safer with a sword. You know what they say about old habits and dying. I want to try something. I want to know if we can examine each individual thing and that will progress, or do we have to get like all of the examinations? So we'll come back to that. Thank you for being me. Yeah. You don't have to thank me for being me. I'm just like everyone else doing my best. But thank you. It's a storage room filled with a few empty crates and shelves. Dust coats the surface of old wood and moth-eaten fabric, thick as frost untouched by the sun. Thin, moon-white cobwebs fill every corner and crevice. Against the far wall you see a rickety shelf laden with blankets, horseshoes, and other riding equipment. You even spy what looks like a tournament barding bearing a unicorn-shaped crest. Likely the personal symbol of whatever knight his disloyal steed once carried. You've seen this crest before. Emblazoned on a blue standard, fluttering in the field. A satchel with the same crest sits on the top shelf. Find out what it holds. Lucky for you, your armor is tall enough to reach it without straining. You wonder if your suit would hold together if you were to fall. Would you be able to put yourself together if your arms were no longer attached to you? Reminds me, my family actually has a coat of arms. You carefully lift the satchel, aged leather crinkling in your metallic touch. Your finger plates graze over the crest. Gingerly, you open it. Oh, hello. Rather than equestrian supplies you're expecting, you find an assortment of objects. A broken necklace, torn linen, and numerous letters. Broken, forgotten belongings. Letters stowed carefully away. Were these written by somebody you knew? You carefully fish out an envelope. To your frustration, they're too faded to read. It looks like they were damaged, or the ink was of poor quality. I wish I could have gotten a name, something, anything. Faded note, a scroll of handwriting barely visible on a parchment scrap. The ink looks blotted away in places. By water or by tears. You decipher it as best you can. I told you I don't want them back. Take them or throw them away. I don't want to talk. I don't want to see you again, not after what you've done. Well, that certainly doesn't bode well for its recipient. A simple amber pendant with a broken clasp. It could have belonged to a man or a woman, but given the fine linen it rests on, you find the latter more likely. It twinkles in the dark like a drop of stolen light. A torn piece of embroidered linen. The fabric is very fine. You're afraid to hold it with your gauntlet, lest the metal catch on the threads. It's patterned with flowers, leaves, and vines. Motifs common enough in clothing, but rarely on fabric this delicate. Oh. I know what this is. It's a wedding veil, or at least the remnants of one. All that's left of the sorry thing is a scrap of fabric burnt and stained at one end. The stitches are uneven and filled with gaps, too tight in some places and too loose in others. The bride who made this was not a skilled seamstress, to put it charitably. With needlework like this, it's a wonder she married at all. Could I have been married? Was I ever in love? Finding a bride would have been a necessary task for a knight like you. Perhaps you cared more for companionship than dowries and alliances. But if you were, what does it mean that you don't remember who she was? Your supposed partner for life. You shouldn't have. Think of it as an early wedding gift. Come on, try it on. I'm a lousy partner if I can't spoil you from time to time, aren't I? It's not true. You're all I could ask for. You deserve it. You deserve so much. Spring. Bright sunlight spills over a bustling town square. The market blooms with colours. Pennants fluttering in the air like butterflies. Stalls strung with dried flowers. People filling the streets, tunics and skirts of woad and weld blossoming among the cobblestone. You keep your long hair covered despite the warm day. Silver strands stand out like a blot of ink on a fresh page. But she stands out anyway. Her loose waves flowed down her back, burning red in the sunlight. Uncouth, you knew for a woman her age, but she never cared what others thought of her. You admired that. You were always a little envious of it. Gingerly, she touches the drop of gold around her neck as if it were the most precious thing in the world. But she stares upward as if the real treasure is held in her eyes. So is this us? Wait, I still don't know your name. A gift. For someone you once knew. Someone who was close to you, at least for a time. Someone who cared for you. Someone who betrayed you. You deserve so much. And that voice. That familiar voice of somebody who wanted to give her the world, but only the sword on his belt and the armor on his back and a little more. A knight like you. What did I do? What did I do? Stained and burned. You recall that the veil is traditionally saved and reused for swaddling linen. From its current state, you imagine this one is certainly used for something. Either it was burnt by accident or rescued, or it was ruined on purpose. Uncut amber hangs on the plain broken cord. Beautiful, but simply hardly a piece worthy of a noble or anyone of rank. Still, you imagine that somebody treasured it, at least for a time. That means... Oh, the recipient of this note couldn't bear to look at them. The recipient of this note wanted to forget them. Oh, history. Still you imagine someone treasured it. A note placed alongside the objects that must have held deep, painful memories carefully Oh, that's sad. Couldn't bear to look at them. The memories these objects held must have been too much to bear. But even ruined, broken, they had too much meaning to be carelessly thrown away. Isn't that common in heartbreak? Sometimes even pain can be a precious feeling. Let's close the satchel. Keep trying around the room for now. What looks like a hatch lies on one side of the room. Try to lift it and meet resistance. Your hollow arms clang in unison with the metallic screeching of the hinges as you strain to open it. It swings open to reveal pitch blackness. I shouldn't have expected anything else, should I? Yet something in the dark pulls at your memory. Twisting corridors, tunnels melting into one into the next. A pursuit. Hunters cornering prey. But was I the one chasing or being pursued? All you know is that some piece to the answers you seek lies down here. Can we go down then? I don't think I've seen everything in the room yet, have I? Curiosity swallows sense as you descend into the darkness. Your sabatons clang on the steps, echoing into lightless, soulless, unending, dark. Blacker than the sunless sea. Blacker than that place where you were nothing. You clamber out of the dark and nearly tumble onto the dusty floor. I can't go further without light. I can't. This is 1,000 times worse than the fear I held when I was alive. The sun would always rise again, no matter how many nights I could not sleep. But there is no sunrise on the sunless sea. You give the hatch door a push, letting it fall closed, and shakily step away. The answers will have to wait. Until I have light and a way to leave a trail. If the tunnels are twisting as I remember, I don't fancy becoming lost down there either. You know what, fair enough. It looks like we've examined everything in this room. But... Let's save the game. Go back. Maybe a young girl, but she isn't blind. Can't you see? The North needs someone like you. Who? Wait. Did we get taken away to war? Is that what happened? I still don't have the key for this, do I? All your steel suit weighs, you yourself are still a spirit. In the tales you've heard of restless souls, some spirits walk through the world like mist. Why then should a closed door stop me? Try to leave your armor? Ooh, that doesn't seem like a wise idea. I'm gonna save, but I feel like this is a bad idea. You're not sure how to leave your armor, however. After a few moments of deliberation, you decide to simply press your gauntlets to the door and will yourself to float. Did it work? Before you awoke, there was nothing. No warmth or light, no touch, no taste, no sound, no sight. No dreams, no fears, no memories. Only a darkness, vast, boundless, unending, never-ending. You are one soul adrift among the dead, a droplet in an ocean. You are nothing. You are nothing. You find yourself lurching over the door, helm bent, gauntlets gouging into the wood like claws as you settle back into a cold, familiar steel. I'm never doing that again. Can't leave my armor, my tether. Can't go back to the sea. I can't become mist again. If I want to go any further, I'll have to find that blasted key. Ugh. I'm glad that we didn't just automatically die. That would have been kind of disappointing. Hi, Geeky. How you doing? The key, huh? Rack holding weapons. Strange that I haven't come across a single sword, spear, or axe yet. Not even a decorative one. Taken by thieves, most likely. Supplies for a steed you must have owned, and a satchel with things that belong to someone you must have known. Let's open the satchel. Is there a key, like, in here somewhere? Number of old letters too faded to read. You scrutinize them regardless, searching for whatever they might tell you. You notice that each page was folded carefully, almost precisely into the perfect thirds. The person who sent them had a meticulous hand, do you think? I don't want to talk. I don't want to see you again. Not after what you've done. A note of farewell. A relationship as tattered as the linen before you. What did I do? Simple pendant, like belonging to whoever owned the rest of these things. The clasp is broken. The stone gleams with a lonely beauty, twinkling like an eye. Scrap of linen. Yeah, we've already seen this, I think. So, we need to find a key, chat. And there isn't much more to interact with in here, so let's go back. Try this again. Nope, we've seen that before as well. We've already seen that as well, I think. Yeah. No other rooms. So presumably it's like back here then, right? Salvaging the crystals, yeah. Oops. They're not gonna do anything though. Oh, there's a door here. I didn't notice that. You spy the remnants of a tapestry clinging to the wall. A knight on horseback charges at a giant thing, tied down by chains. Bolts stick out of its back. The lone rider is flanked by knights of different colours bearing shields and spears. Revenants? You said this wouldn't be a scary story. What's this? Are you afraid of a simple tale? Revenants? But they're the size of men, not whatever this is supposed to be. No, tapestries often commemorate great events. Battles, victories. Perhaps the beast here was a metaphorical one. A great nation, an enemy army, a tyrant. Nothing more. Hi, Shadow Fox. How you doing? Candle. Book. That's to go back, I assume? Yeah. Let's try this first. Oh, hello. Well, we can't really see much in here. Oh, it's too dark to see anything. Maybe if I could light these candles. Yeah. I'm doing okay. We're checking out this wonderful game. This is just the demo, but we were given early access, so we're trying it out. It's very beautiful. It's a pewter box. Inside you find shards of flint, striking iron, and charred cloth. Tools for lighting fire. Perfect. Take them. You have no excuse not to enter the cellars now. You take them. An ornate candlestick sits on the altar. These candles resting on it, in it, are carved almost as beautifully as the spiraling black iron itself. These candles would have been lit as offerings to spirits, both to guide them to rest and ask for guidance in return. And now it can indeed guide a spirit, mine through the cellars. You strike the flint until the sparks catches, then light the 3 long candles standing in the candelabra. A soft glow radiates from the tiny flames now bathed in moonlight. For a moment, they seem to glow blindly bright. Promise me you'll take care of your sister. Promise me you'll never fight, that you'll love each other. Spare our daughter, please. I beg of you, she's done no wrong. Those voices. I don't recognize them. That must have been the past. But why did that feel less like a memory and more like a dream? You toss your helmet and gorget as if you were shaking your head, and then take the candlestick. You can sort out riddles later. We should definitely examine these. Candles cover the room in every size and shape you can imagine the candle taking. Some are plain, half-melted stubs clinging stubbornly to the prickets, while others are tall and carefully carved with ornaments and flowers. Almost all are engraved with a name. It's a chapel, a place where rites were given and prayers whispered, where all facets of life were celebrated. Births, funerals, weddings. I know this place. I've carved names here. Golden light softly scattered by stained glass. Warm voices, borrowed silks. Flowers. For the first time you can remember the scent of flowers mixes with incense and melting wax. You're not sure what they're called, but they're golden like her eyes. Gold like the thin band you carry that glints like a ring of sunlight. It slips over her finger as easily as a promise whispered. It weighs like an oath kept. Your family gains another member today, but not all are present to witness it. Your father is not here to see this joy. Your heart is so light you almost don't notice it. The warmth is gone, leaving your hollow plates colder than before. As the tender memory ebbs away, a trace of bitterness takes its place. A woman in a veil. So, I'm assuming no, because we can't be the brother of the woman in the painting. Because if we were the brother, we would have taken like precedence over her gaining any power. Is it possible we're the cousin? I'm still thinking maybe also that we are the woman in the painting, but all of these memories are confused, and it's like it's not actually this person. They look similar, but it's like a female that would actually be here, if that makes any sense. Moonlight filters softly through a stained glass window. You recognize the scene depicted in colored glass. A scene from the Tales of the Mist. It's the hero Tristram, lantern and sword in hand, preparing to slay the revenant that terrorized his people. But the story isn't a happy one. It's a tale of sacrifice and folly. Tristram. Why is that name familiar? Well, the tale was a popular one, and the name was common enough when I was alive. But you can't help but feel there's more to it than that. Yeah, we're actually like a spirit in a suit of armor that's lost its memories. Tale of a king who sacrificed everything in atonement for his folly. It aptly means sorrow, bestowed upon newborn boys in the hopes they'll lead humble lives. Or the unlucky number who survived their births while their mothers did not. Let's go back. We have a candelabra now, so we can light this. You carefully take your candlestick and bring it to the candelabra, setting each wick alight with flame. That's better. Ooh, map. Faded map lies on the desk. It depicts 2 territories at its center divided by a great river. Lithreza and Ostara. That sounds like Ostrava from Demon Souls. Lithreza and Ostara. Those names I recognize. Lith. Raza. The kingdom of silver north and golden south. Sunsets over endless fields. Birch forests turning pale gold with autumn's chill. The white river Asker gleaming with ice. Pale crests of waves breaking the boreal sea. Skyridge peak scraping a frost blue horizon. A place I fought for with tooth and nail. Ostara, the kingdom across the river. Vengeance. Snow. Blood, smoke, screams. Beyond that, I don't remember. Bugger. Behind the map, you find a note. My lady. You made the right decision. The lion's den is too dangerous for a young girl like you. You can rely on me to handle the peace talks. I'm glad you understand why sending Sir Tristan would be imprudent. A bastard has no place rubbing shoulders with the lords, no matter how decorated. I'm sure I need not remind you what they call him. The Prince Slayer's presence. The Prince Slayers? They call him the Prince Slayer. Prince Slayer's presence can only give the wrong impression at a peace summit. Nor do the blood-hungry hounds who side with Heimdall need further encouragement. Please don't worry yourself. Ever your loyal commander, Sir D. Sir DG! Prince Slayer? A mere knight dares spill royal blood? Small wonder this Sir Tristan would be shunned even for a veteran. It seems he was no champion of peace, but had some reason for bloodying his hands. Tristan. You turn the name over in your mind, repeating its rhythm. Tristan. 2 syllables. A backwards heartbeat. Its cadence is familiar, engraved in your memory like the etchings of your armor. He was a knight with bloodied hands like you. Well, it's got to be us then, surely. And this is why our soul wasn't put to rest, because we did something, and the people resented us for it, or condemned us for it, or whatever. And this is why we've become a spirit and not been able to pass on. It's a painting of a man with white hair and beard, dressed in fine furs and jewels. There's a clear resemblance between him and the portrait of the woman in the solar. So this is their father. His painted eyes stare down at you in stoic contempt. Did we kill our father? You ungrateful bastard, who gave you everything you have, who granted you the honor and privilege of a knighthood when you should be rotting in the streets. Stale liquor, dusty cedar, parchment and ink. It's a tournament day, but you're not in the spirit for games. You retreated here in a foul mood, unaware that he had shirked his duties and done the same. What more do you want, boy? You know what I want, father. I remember him. This man was my father. The master of the castle was my father. Yet his daughter succeeded him while I became nothing more than a knight. And even that was a privilege he deemed me unworthy of. What did I want from him? What did he refuse to give me? What did I want from him? Why didn't he give it to me? Even if it was more than what your vassal deserved, even if I was born in shame, I was still your son, wasn't I? So I wonder if we were an illegitimate son. Or maybe like we did something and then we were adopted and taken into this man's family. An empty glass bowl. As you brush a cobweb off it with your gauntlet, a scent, A memory of a scent wafts over you. Stale liquor, stinging bitterness, honey to mask it. You almost recoil in distaste. I take it I wasn't one for a strong drink. Could I use this to hold something to leave a trail with in the cellars? Take the bottle. Like a powder. You take the bottle and fix it, yes. A stack of papers sits on the desk. You look through them and find names, figures, and numbers. They're fiscal documents. Little of this looks legible though. They're stained and faded. On one of the better preserved pages is a roster of knights listed in order of rank, along with their respective fiefs and incomes. This many knights. What a wealthy master we shared. If tensions with Ostaro are high, however, that makes plenty of sense. One knight whose name you cannot make out is listed at the bottom. Whoever he was, he had far lower earnings than the rest. I bet that's us. Shelves of books and records and what looks like a variety of subjects. You walk over and examine the spines until you spot one that bears the same emblem on your armor. A raven with wings extended like a leaf. Ancestry of the House of Winter. That must be the family name of the Marchioness. Navigating the pages isn't easy with metal fingers, but you manage flipping through decades, if not centuries of names, dates and facts until you land on the most recent entry. Year 228, on the second day of the second month, a daughter is born to Marquez Siegmund and Lady Vivian, and given the name Siegland. 5 days later, Lady Vivian perishes. On year 246, on the 7th day of the second month, Lord Siegmund perishes after many months of illness. Lady Siegland is named his successor and bestowed the title Marchioness. So Siegland is the lady in the painting. Siegland von Winter, my sister. So you were 18 years old when our father croaked. If this Marchioness and the one in the painting are the same, then the lady I served was barely more than a child. Siegmund, father. You flip back through earlier entries. There's no mention of a son. So I was kept around, but my mother and I weren't important enough to be included in the record, even as a footnote. As if they were ashamed I even existed. So I think he must have been an illegitimate son. You close the book with a sinking feeling you're curious. There's still something... In the drawers you find more corked bottles of alcohol dusting undisturbed. You wonder if the Marchioness or her predecessor was fond of drink. The top right drawer is locked and will not open. You can't help but feel that the desk in its current state, spilled alcohol, a mess of papers doesn't look like it belonged to the Marchioness. Unlike the Solar, this place looks largely untouched. What a mess. The young woman wanted to remember her father? Pitiful thing. Ordinarily, I'd say that clinging to the past does no favours, but something from your past must have brought you back to this place. Okay, so we got everything. Hi, Sonic. You have not spent years protecting the commoners from Ostarian invaders. To them, you're a princess locked in a white tower. I am well aware of my shortcomings. The only reason you stand where you are is because Sir Tristan is loyal to you, but loyalties can change. What the heck? I need some kind of a powder. Okay, I think we've got everything in here, yeah. Go back. Do you not like my gift? It's beautiful, but... You stand in the Solar, your arms folded tightly in front of you. Your eyes flit over the suit of polished steel that stands there in solemn silence. A gleaming shadow. You don't know what else to say. It is beautiful, worthy of a prince and worth a prince's ransom. But it's still only a suit of armor. To an ordinary knight, a gift like this would be the honor of a lifetime. But for a hero of the kingdom, a veteran of the Great Ice War, a man who's given and sacrificed so much, how could a single suit of armor ever be enough? What happened? What the heck? I only wanted... What happened? Oh my gosh. Okay. I still can't get through there, can I? I need some kind of a powder, right? I have glass. What could I... Maybe if I... You look at the ashes left on the hearth, despite what you first think is a stray clump of snow, but it flutters away with a sudden gust of wind. A feather? It's gone before you can think of to reach for it. Ash. Not the ideal trail maker, I was right. I have no better options. You do your best to scoop at the ash from the hearth in this glass bottle. It slips through the cracks in your gauntlets and settles deep into the fine etchings on the lames, turning beautiful black steel grey. But you have other things to concern yourself with being tidy. Finally, once the bottle is filled, you return to its place on your belt. Hope this works. Cool. Let's save our game. Once more, you lift the hatch and stare into the open maw of the cellar staircase. The light from the candles, faintly flickering, outlines staggered steps swallowed by the darkness below. You stare into the blackness, one gauntlet gripped on your candlestick, the other reaffirming that the bottle on your belt sits snug. It's now or never. So you descend. Step by step. Your sabatons clang. Your hauberk rattles against the shell of your cuirass. You grip your candlestick tightly as if it's shield and weapon both. The tunnels are wider than you remember. Wider than the oppressive twisting stone you imagined. There's ample room above your helm and around you, so much that your candlelight barely reaches the walls on either side. There is no sound but the ringing of steel against steel as you step onwards. The shaking of your hauberk, clink-clank, within the hollow cuirass echoes like a heartbeat. Finally, up ahead, you come across a fork in the path. Or search our memories. Which path did you take so many years ago? You were following the lantern light of somebody. Somebody you held on to tightly. Or were they holding on to you? Right. Good, because I was going to go left. You leave a small pile of ash to mark the turn, then continue into the dark. It's strange how familiar this feels. Not this place, but this darkness. How crushing it is. How alone. Somewhere once, I was freezing. I was hurt. I was trying to build a fire, but my fingers were numb. With every shake of your metal heartbeat, you give silent thanks that you no longer feel the cold. The path continues on and on, stone after stone. Finally, after what could be minutes or hours, you spy another fork in the path. Memories. Hand over the girl. What did you do to father? Answer me. You can hate me all you wish. A young girl cries, and nights resolve. Voices, one of them yours. Left. So, when our father passed away, did somebody try to usurp us, and then we attacked them, and we lost all of our credit, I guess? You make another mark on it with the ash, continue down your path. Voices whisper at the edge of your mind, a tangle of threads, faded, frayed. You can't make out the words, you can't reach through the torn veil of your memories. Half of you wants to scream with the lungs you don't have. The other half wants to turn back and run. Steady. If being down here makes me feel this way, I must be getting closer. You could do nothing but continue, so continue you do. As you walk, the candles you carry seem to flicker, then burn brighter than before. You grip the candlestick tightly and continue on a cautious pace. Step after step. Finally, up ahead, another turn comes into view. Another fork. Gonna keep saving. This time, there's nothing at all. No, wait. You're not my brother. My brother is a hero. What? He would never hurt me or betray me like this. I'm not a hero. Wait, we didn't get a choice on the path, did we? Oh, we didn't get any... Yeah, we don't know. Okay, we'll go left then. You leave more ash as you mark your trail, then continue through the tunnels, hoping you pick correctly. You walk for what feels like hours. Every hollow, clanging step reminds you that you are alone. You are alone. Whispers wrap around you like silk, trapping you in their threads. You are alone. You are not alone. Voices linger. Memory coalesces. Theirs, yours. They flicker and burn. They wither and choke. Ash gives way to cold and dark. The waves of the sea call. The dead do not belong. You jerk violently as hot wax drips onto your gauntlet, making you flinch as if your skin were flesh and not steel. You fumble and nearly drop the candlestick. Steady, steady. I am far from the shores of the sea. Nothing can go wrong. Nothing worse than being dead already. I just need to get through this. You continue on more briskly than before, as if to make up lost time. Finally up ahead you see something on the ground. A glint in the dark. You doubt your own senses at first. No, something really is there. Carefully you approach. Candlelight falls on metal caked in dust and decay. The curve of a cuirass, the threads of a moulding surcoat, the white of bone. A corpse lies before you. Spirits. Keys! We found the keys. Keys hang off a ring on the fallen knight's belt. I'll have to take those before I leave. I need them more than he does. A medallion in the shape of a raven hangs around the knight's gorget. You note how similar it looks to the one worn by the Marchioness and the Marquess on their portraits. The mark of high ranking. No, the highest rank given to a knight. The corpse of a knight lays against the wall. Jaw locked in a soundless cry, sockets staring eternally upwards. He spent his last moment calling out to, cursing whatever or whoever killed him. Take the keys. Light a candle in respect. Take the keys. I want to do this, but I want the keys more. Pitiful soul. It seems you have no choice but to leave the dead knight be. You've been down in the cellars a good while. With candlelight waning, you decide to retreat the way you came. You reach for the keys, looped on the knight's belt. And he comes to life. He did! He came to life! That's armor. You. You dare show yourself again, traitor? In another time and place. Castle Winter, Lif, year 308, winter. Grandmother, I brought you some warm milk. You are my heir, Tristram, not a servant. Will you wait until I cross the sunless sea before you act like it? The young man wordlessly sets down the steaming cup and retreats from the room. You almost feel a pang of remorse as you hear the door close behind him with a quiet thud. Old age is making you sentimental. The regrets you thought you tossed aside weigh like piled stones. The boy's almost 30, and on the surface an ideal successor. Level-headed, poised, a seasoned warrior, a skilled diplomat. Like you trained him to be. But his heart is fragile and weak. Just like... You sigh and turn towards the painting on the wall. Like him. His portrait has hung on the wall for decades. It was painted from your memories and descriptions. The artist spared no detail but captured his likeness with a melancholy so true to life it stung you. Far from the heroic figure you wanted him remembered as, you dismissed that artist from your court in disgrace and hung the portrait in your privacy of your chambers, safe from the eyes of the world. And so he has kept watch over you, decade after decade, reminding you of your failures. You find yourself speaking to the dead more than living these days. You dream of the things you'll ask him, explain to him, beg of him, demand of him. Until we meet again beyond the sunless sea, dear brother. So there was 3 of them. So there was the daughter. There's two sons. And this is the one that's considered a hero, but we're not the one that's the hero. We're a different one, I think. Oh, The Last Winter Night. God, this was good. End of the demo. This was so beautiful. Like, truly, thank you very much, Endices, for providing me with access to this demo early. This was just beautiful. The music, the art. I love the story as well. Like the way it paces and unfolds, the mystery. I love the way that they refer to the main character's body as like the pieces of armor as well. Wishlist it on Steam and join the newsletter chat. There is a link above Twitch chat. Go wishlist it now. There's a playable demo accessible on the 30th. This was wonderful. I loved this very much. God, that was good.